Hello and welcome back to the Red Chicken Union Collectors channel, and today we are taking a look at the Transformers Earthrise Leader Class Astrotrain figure. But moving him and this thing out of here, we can take a look at the box here. This is, again, these leader boxes, for some reason they seem a lot bigger than they really are. But here on this side we got Earthrise logo there. On the front we got Transformers Earthrise Astrotrain here. It says War for Cybertron E12. It is a leader class. There's a picture of him in his shuttle mode. So he is a triple changer here. And he has his robot mode, he has a space shuttle mode, and a train mode. And I don't remember exactly what kind of train this is, but this is a steam locomotive, which is pretty cool. But taking this out of here. And before we get to the figure, the manual here is beefy. Like, this is a huge instruction manual for this dude, because he has two alt modes. So, bringing him in here. Alright, and here is the Leader Class Astrotrain in robot mode. And he looks great. If I have to point one thing out, I think the front of the robot mode here could have used a little bit of the purple that the back of it gets here. But I also like to kind of put these like this. But, I mean, that's just a minor issue here. I have heard that some people have had some bigger issues with these pieces here stressing out and breaking there. What I did is I took a file and I just filed that down right there at the very tops, and now they just click up without an issue. I feel like that's not going to break there anymore. So if you have issues with that, just file that top piece. Do it carefully, but it'll help. But the robot mode here is very gray. Looks really good though. Got some purple details all along it, especially on these shuttle wings over here. The back of it is very purple, and you got the thrusters. Same on this side. His articulation is pretty decent. His head is on his head. The articulation is pretty decent here. His head is on a ball joint. His arms can swing out about that far right there, and then they can unpeg there for transformation if you want to use that. They can swing around. They can also swivel right up here. There's a double hinge here that can allow you to get about a 180-degree bend. There is waist articulation. The legs can swing about that far forward and kick about that far out. They can go back about that far because they get blocked by the wings. They can bend back a little bit further if you unpeg the wings, but about there. But he has no forward and backward movement in the feet, but he does have side to side movement in the feet. So it's pretty well articulated. I mean, it's not too bad. He does also have a rotation joint in the leg here, I forgot to mention. But then he comes with a bunch of accessories. So he comes with this whole thing here and all 5 of these guns. So this thing here can transform into different modes and stuff for the different like vehicle modes, because Astrotrain is a triple changer. So let's just get this switched into this mode here. But then he does also have these 5 guns. And these 5 guns are pretty cool. You got like this minigun here. You got this blaster here. You got these 2 guns, which are identical. They're kind of like swapped. And then this little rocket pod thing here. And I know that you can take these guns and you can kind of stick them together like this to form a giant gun. Let's see. that. Then there's some way to get this on. I'm not sure how this piece goes on though. Unless you want to do it like this. There we go. Sure. And then it just pegs into his hand. But it is rather large. For weapons, what I like to pose him with is I like to take these side guns and peg him on his shoulders like the Seeker's null rays. Like that. There we go. Looks pretty cool like that. The instructions show that this here can go on his feet. And I'll show you more specifics on this thing in the transformation guide here. But this thing can go on his feet to give him bigger feet here, so that this thing can go on his back. And one complaint about this is that this thing does not fit. Like, I'll show you. Watch this. I don't know if that's just my copy, if that's just an issue with mine, but mine cannot hold this, and I don't even have the guns in it. But I think this is rather silly. It makes a lot of sense in the other modes. It makes a lot more sense in the other modes. Kind of like how we have the Earthrise, or the Siege Leader Class Shockwave here. This Astrotrain has a lot of just bonus pieces. There's those two. Looking very good together. And here is Astrotrain next to Starscream. Looking pretty good. Get him out of here. We can go ahead and get Astrotrain transformed into Space Shuttle mode. So here we have Astrotrain in his very cool Space Shuttle mode. And this mode here is... I probably like the train mode a little bit better. Mostly just because of this whole back section here, just how it's kind of like bare. It looks like it should have more panels like this over it. But it looks really good. I mean, if you just kind of ignore this section. They do make a third-party like piece that goes over that. I don't own that, but that is an option. Get the thrusters back here, looking very cool. And then you can take the little trailer section and you can unfold it like this. You can then take the thrusters and peg Astrotrain in like this. And then you have him like ready to launch. Looking pretty sweet. And this thing is very tight in here. I do not push it in all the way. I barely even peg it in, and it's still really tight. But in vehicle mode here, go ahead and get a size comparison here. Here is Astrotrain in shuttle mode next to the Transformers Back to the Future crossover Gigawatt. There we go. So Astrotrain is quite a bit larger than Gigawatt here. Gigawatt is a deluxe class figure. And this is a leader, so I mean it should be quite a bit bigger. But they still look pretty good next to each other. So we can go ahead and get him transformed into train mode here. And here we have Astrotrain in his very cool steam locomotive train mode. And this mode is probably my favorite mode, to be honest. It's just super purple. Like a lot of the gray hides here and all the purple comes out. And I think that this mode looks super cool. Also, if you look very closely, the train wheels here are the real wheels that this thing rolls on. And it rolls very nicely too. But busting Gigawatt back out here for another size comparison. There they are lined up. So you can see Astrotrain is pretty large in this mode. There we go. Front to front. Very cool looking. Get him out of there. So all those extra pieces here do have a function in this mode as well. They turn into this little box here. Now I forget what the word is for this, but it's like the tender or something. It's where the coal would ride in the steam locomotive. But very cool looking, and it still rolls really nicely, actually. And this mode is pretty cool specifically because you can open this up, and there are all sorts of ports inside here that you can put all these weapons in. Like I said, in the robot mode, I tend to just use these two, keep those two out. And then I can take this one, peg it right there. Take these two, peg them in the other sides, right there. And then you can put these ones in these holes too, but I usually keep those ones out. Just close this all up here. And peg it back into train mode, and now it's just all in there. You can fit all 5 of them. I keep these 2 out personally, but very cool. I like that a lot. So this little thing, I think its best use is in train mode. I think it's kind of pointless in robot mode, and it's cool as a display piece in rocket mode, but its functionality is best used in train mode. We can go ahead and get him back into robot mode here though. We are back in robot mode here. So to finish this video up, I really like this dude. I really think that he is a cool addition to my collection. And I enjoy that he's a triple changer, that he has 2 pretty solid modes actually. I think that they're both pretty cool. I prefer train mode, but they're both equally as solid, you know what I mean? But I think he's really cool. He was kind of hard to find, so if you can find him, I would recommend getting him. He is exactly the same as the Siege mold, so absolutely no differences there between Earthrise and Siege. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and check out his transformation guide linked down in the description below. And have a good night.